Welcome to the Walk and Talk. We're not walking. Today I had a lot on my mind and I just wanted to get off my chest. Yeah, I just wanted to get off my chest. So, welcome. In the comments, go ahead and tell me how your day is going. Are you having a good day, a bad day, a so-so day? Just let me know. Um, Give me 1 second. I have a list. Anywho, let's get into the list. So, if you don't know, I recently got laid off from my job. I worked as a user interface developer. My background is tech, front end development, some engineering. I wouldn't call myself an engineer. Some people do, but I would say I'm more of a developer and heavy in the design aspect as well. Been designing for quite a long time. First technical design was in middle school. I was making like pet pages and pet lookups and stuff like that on Neopets. If anybody remembers the Neopets, shout out to you. You're one of the OGs. But yeah, I did that, and then I went to do it recreationally, as in like for like school stuff. I competed, like did design competitions and everything, and then I remember last year of high school, my design teacher was like, "Oh, okay, Miss Obanali, you're gonna go be a graphic designer, right?" And I said, "No, I make all these pretty images, but I don't know how to put them on the internet. I'm gonna go get an IT degree," and that was the best decision I could have made. I love telling that story because it's a point in my life. It's one of those moments in your life where you do something in the moment that you don't realize is gonna make a big difference in your life. You just, oh yeah, I just don't feel like going that direction in the fork in the road. And I wouldn't say like, oh my God, I made the best decision. Who knows where I'd be? You could have a very successful career as a graphic designer, but I am happy and very satisfied with the choice of getting an IT degree because it does, especially now, it does make a difference when I apply for jobs because they're like, oh, we love that you have an IT background and you do design. Now, if I only had a graphic design background and I was trying to do development and stuff, I feel like anything is possible, but the entry point would be a little different. Uh, I'm so sorry if you guys hear this helicopter. If you don't, shout out to DJI. Great mics, but yeah, it's kind of loud, kind of low. Anywho, back to the list. Okay, aligning with myself, courage to change, and trusting my timeline. Yeah. So let's start with aligning with myself. Subtopic I wanted to write down was, am I living for myself or am I living for other people's expectations of me? I think for a long time in my life, like many people, especially if you come from a foreign household, I'm Nigerian. I come from a Nigerian household. I was raised with those rules, principles, values, etc. But I was, born here in America, so environment was a little different. Nonetheless, the pressure was on. The pressure was on, like for many people, the pressure is on. I remember when I graduated, when I graduated high school and I told my mom I wanted to do the IT degree, she ran around telling everybody I was going to be an engineer. I don't know why she did that. I remember vividly telling her, like, hey, it's College of Computing and Engineering. Yeah, my degree will be under that college. And I think she just took that and ran because people, that's life. People will take what you say to them, and more often than not, pick the pieces they want to hear. It's not necessarily, it can be a good, it can be a bad thing. But when she did that, I remember thinking it was really weird. Like, why are you, posing for these people and telling these people things that aren't true? But you leave it be. That's a whole nother topic as far as navigating parents, especially Nigerian parents. But as far as their expectation, my mother's and my father's, it was a lot. I was always a good kid. I was always the academic kid. My brothers and I would laugh and joke. They got a lot of street smarts. They're smart, but they got more street smarts, and I got a lot of book smarts. There just be some things that I would not get when we'd go out, or like things that are. Let's pull an example instead of just making sounds. Zombie apocalypse. A year ago, before I started doing archery, I'd be the first one gone. Now I might have a fighting chance, but even then I wouldn't tell you like, oh yeah, I know how to navigate. I'm quick on my feet. in a corporate level, academic level, yes, I can grow in in that aspect, but I know my strengths, and that's one of the core things you have to learn in order to break away from other people's expectations. What are your strengths? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you like? What don't you like? And that kind of ties in with aligning with yourself. If you aren't like this with yourself and what you desire in this world, other people are going to fill in the gaps for you and make a narrative that you'll never fully accept or believe. It will feel off. You will just always feel off in life until you get in alignment. Even if the alignment, aligning with other people's goals and expectations of you, gets you to materialistic aspects. So like, yeah, you go on to be a doctor because your parents wanted you to be a doctor, so you make the money, you get the cars, you maybe get a relationship, husband, wife, whatever the case, but you will always have this underlying itch, or like it's like a hum, like it's just always in the back of your head, like, I've done these things, I've invested, I've done all, like, I've gone to the school, I got the relationship, I started the family, I did all these things, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I feel like something's missing. You will always feel like there's a missing piece, because there is a missing piece. Yourself. You've forgotten yourself because you gave it up for the expectations of others. Mind you, I'm not like an expert. I'm clearly speaking from my own thoughts and feelings, but I've felt this hum. I felt this itch, and for a very long time, I couldn't figure it out. It took a lot of reading. It took a lot of therapy. It took a lot of walks. It took a lot out of me to finally realize, oh, you're not happy. And the conflict is not that, oh, maybe I just need to fulfill the expectation of somebody else. Maybe this person's idea of me is wrong, or maybe I'm just not listening hard enough or comprehending it the way they're trying to explain it to me. What it is you're not listening to yourself. You're not advocating for yourself. You're abandoning yourself, and you're just not aligning with yourself. So like I said, aligning with yourself is so important. And when you align with yourself, or let's say you're doing it later in the game, what you'll come to have another struggle with is the timeline, because then you'll feel like, dang, now that I have this information, I wish I did XYZ when I had blah, 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 and all these other scenarios. And I've done this, I still do this. And, I love my friends, because I've made incredible friends in this stage of life where they remind me, hey, you can change at any point. Cut the crap. Don't do that, because when you place yourself in a negative mindset like that, like, oh, it's too late. The right time has already passed. The right time could be now, and you're deciding to let it pass again. Figuratively, if you believe that the right time has passed, it's gonna pass again, because you're not taking action now. Only you can save yourself. Only you can decide when to start. Only you can see it to the end, because it's your journey. Like I said, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, learn what you like, dislike. Only you can figure out these things by actually spending time with yourself, putting yourself in different scenarios, testing yourself. Life is an experiment. I'm doing a lot of like the usual advice guru, productivity guru stuff, but I have no job right now. And yet I'm so grateful, because I'm technically in a worse position than I was at the beginning of the year. And yet emotionally and spiritually, I know I'm in a better position. And my faith in myself and God, the universe, and everything He's created underneath, and even in the people I've cultivated into my support system, I'll be okay. I feel like I went on a little tangent there, so I'm gonna go back to my list. The timeline. Oh my God, the timeline. Trusting the timeline. And this is also on my list. I'm not sure if I said it, but I'm doing this on a whim, because one of the things I wanted to do was start sharing my thoughts. I have these conversations with my friends all the time, and they have continuously told me, you should share this. You have some kind of gift of making people feel motivated and just comfortable, like, hey, it's gonna be okay. Which is crazy, because I feel like it's not gonna be okay so many times, but that's okay. It's like, it's okay to not feel like it's gonna be okay, Yeah, I don't remember the third one. I'm gonna let it ride. If I forget it, I'll just touch on it in another video. Forgive me, I'm a newbie. And that comes with being new. When you're new, you might make mistakes and life goes on. But yeah, trusting the timeline is heavily dependent with better aligning with yourself, because if you don't, how can you trust a timeline that you didn't create? You'll always feel off. Like I'm telling you guys, you'll always feel off. Even now, have gratitude, recognize I'm building the courage to be disliked. If these are my strengths, these are my likes, these are my dislikes, these are my weaknesses. And if it doesn't align with other people, I am comfortable with your level of discomfort in this situation, because this boundary, this new lifestyle, these new changes advocate for myself the way I need it to. And that is so important. Life is hard. It's not hard. Life is not hard. See, we got to catch ourselves. Life is not hard. Life has challenges. Life has challenges. And with those challenges, to grow, to become a better version of yourself and see what that looks like on the other side, you have to go through the challenge. You have to finish it. Think of Ironmans. If you stop midway in the race, can you really say, oh yeah, like I did an Ironman? Yeah, you can say you signed up, you participated, but it wouldn't be the same experience as finishing. Even if you finish dead last, the experience of finishing dead last versus not finishing at all are two very different experiences. People think, oh, okay, if I'm dead last, it's not worth anything to talk about. You did something. You did something a lot of people wouldn't do. Let's start there. Once you start there, we can start building on top of that. This whole video, I've been wanting to make a YouTube channel for years, but I'm scared of how people will perceive me. What would I talk about? Do I actually have something to say? My personal friends have poured and said, hey, you have a voice. And I'll laugh, but then it will happen with strangers. I have a story about traveling to Colombia. I spent about 3 or so weeks in Colombia. Amazing experience. We'll have to talk about that in another video. On the way there, I met an incredible woman who was so scared to live life. Older woman. I spoke to her, and by the end of our conversation, she was in tears. She was in tears, and I quote, "The room seems so much brighter. Thank you." That experience was one of the moments, and I had bought this camera before because I just want to document. I want something tiny, versatile, and just, easy to navigate with. That experience alone made me think, okay, I bought the camera, and then I hear something like this. And she went on to tell me, same one, she was like, you have a gift. You need to do something with this. And I was like, oh, thank you. Just sweet older woman. But for some reason, it stayed with me. How many more times do I need to hear this before I'm going to do something? How many more signs do I need before I move? Yeah, I think I'll end it there. If you stay to the very end, thank you. Again, this is my first video. If you want me to touch on specific topics, go ahead and comment them down below. But until I see what people want, I'm just going to be posting and yapping and rambling. The next one will probably actually walk, but I don't know. I just felt compelled to sit and be still and just share my thoughts in the middle of my walk, because I needed to hear it. I need to hear it several times in my life. And so I felt like, let's do the same for other people. Maybe you needed to hear this too. And today's the day where you realize, how many more signs do you need before you move? Okay. Bye.